Okay, so thanks for joining me. In this video, and possibly maybe even two more, it's going to be two videos for sure, could be three. I would like to go over some problems that you will see on your Algebra 2 quiz coming up Friday. Okay, so I have 7 problems. So again, if it might take me 2 videos, it might take me 3. So you'll see all the videos on my YouTube page. All right, so let's talk about these 7 problems. The first problem is just a solving an equation, but we're going to throw a lot of fractions in this problem. So solve the equation 1/3 x plus 1/2 equals 11/12. Alright. So if you remember the technique I taught you, when you have many fractions, you need to find what is called the LCD. Okay? The LCD is the number that each of these fractions, these denominators, can become through multiplication. Okay, so what you're doing is you're finding multiples of these denominators. Well, I believe that 3 can become a 12, and I believe that 2 can become a 12. So your LCD in this case is 12. And again, on the side, if you want to show 3, you have 3, 6, 9, 12. 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and of course 12 is 12, and you don't have to go any farther because there's the LCD, 12. So we're going to take this entire equation and multiply all 3 parts by 12. So it's going to go once, twice, 3 times into the equation. And when you do that, you are going to multiply the 12 to the top of the fraction. Okay, you can think of it as 12 over 1, and it just goes to the top. So 12 times 1 is 12, and the denominator stays the same, 3. 12/3 x plus 12 times 1 is 12 over 2 equals, now here's the top, be 12 times 11. 12 times 11 is, well, let's just write it as 11 times 12. It's too much for me to do, over 12. But then look what happens. Okay, now, I believe this is 132. I think that's what it is. But you don't need to know that, because look, all of them are going to reduce. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And here, what happens is the 12s cancel. Again, you could do 132 divided by 12, but you'll still get 11. And now it's a two-step problem. We move the 6 to the right side for x equals 5, and we divide by 4. X equals, now if this simplifies, meaning you can divide the numerator and denominator by a common factor, you need to do that. However, 5 and 4 do not share any common factors, so this is good, 5/4. Okay, multiplying by the LCD. It's a technique to get rid of fractions. Okay, let's go on to our second problem here. Our second problem is a word problem. Okay, a word problem with equations. So you and your friend, it's from our worksheet. Let me show you. It's from the worksheet, and it's actually on the worksheet. It's problem 7. So you and your friend are driving. So your friend is here. F for friend, and Y for you. I should maybe use U for you, but I use Y. And you guys are currently 300 meters apart, or 300 miles, I'm sorry, apart. So maybe they moved, I don't know what happened. You wanna meet. So you're gonna meet in the middle. You're gonna meet right here. This is where you're gonna meet. Right here in the middle. So you're gonna meet here, which means that your friend is gonna drive 150 miles. And you are going to drive 150 miles. It tells you that your friend averages 50 miles per hour. So their speed, their rate is 50 miles per hour, and your rate is 60 miles per hour. And the question is, how... So you guys are going to leave at the same time. So you leave at the same time. And the question is, and the same is very important. obviously you're going to get there first because you're driving faster. So how much earlier do you get to the meeting place than your friend? So this important equation, rate times time equals distance. This is the equation you must use. You must do it for your friend and for you, and we will compare the times. So we have a rate of 50 miles per hour times a time we don't know. This is the time for your friend. So this is your friend. And this should equal the 150 miles that you're driving. Well, if you divide by 50, t equals 3. So it takes your friend 3 hours to get there. Now let's do you. If we do you, okay, you're driving 60 miles per hour for some time. And again, you're only traveling 150 miles. Divide by 60 to get t alone. And you will see that this one comes out to be t equals 2.5. So it only takes you 2.5 hours. So if you subtract the two times, 2.5 minus 3, or 3 minus 2.5, you're going to be waiting for a half an hour. 0.5 hours is how long you'll get there, or how long you'll be waiting. Or half hour, whatever you want to call. Half hour, 30 minutes, it's all the same. Okay? So there's a word problem. Again, it was on your worksheet, number 7. Alright, and then the last one that I'll do in this video, okay, and then we'll move to the next one, is going to be a functions problem. Here is a function. It's evaluating h of x, that's a function, equals negative x squared plus 10. And you need to evaluate when x equals negative 2. Okay? So evaluate means plug in for x. H of negative 2 equals. Now, this is tricky right here. This is tricky. It's like, what do you do? Well, the negative's outside. X is just negative 2. So we just put negative 2 in parentheses, like so, and we square. That's how you do it. And then the plus 10 just comes. Now, this left side does not change. H of negative 2 stays the same. Over here, we have to do things in the correct order. You must square negative 2 first. When you square negative 2, you get positive 4. This becomes positive 4. But then it has a negative in front of it. Negative 4. And of course, negative 4 plus 10 is positive 6. And that's how I want the answers. H of negative 2 equals 6. Okay, so here's what I will do for the first video. Please tune in for the second video.